The Heat team's obviously in a very weird spot right now after what we called the worst loss of the season in Memphis. They followed up the second night of a back-to-back at home against the Pistons. No Jimmy Butler, but the Pistons are 1-14 before this game against the Eastern Conference, and they dropped this game as well. Just a lot to go over in general with this squad because they don't have an identity. I don't really think they know what their identity is they're trying to be because there's issues offensively. They go through a pocket in the fourth quarter where they just cannot generate anything positive. And then the defensive stuff, there's just a lot more than one thing to point your finger at. But I'm going to show one thing because there was something Eric Spoelstra mentioned after the game where he said what he's seeing from the defense is not containing the ball one-on-one. And when I'm watching, that is kind of my thing that sticks out is the fact that it all stems from whatever coverage they're running, not being able to contain the ball. And then when they do contain the ball, they're over containing the ball. So I'm just going to showcase some possessions. And I'm going to start out with the man-to-man defense. We saw a blend of both in this last game last night. So right here, you're seeing just a normal action versus a handoff. And you're going to basically see Bam think he gets a switch. Tyler think he's going over, and it's going to be more of a drop. Now they're in a weird positioning because you have Max Strus covering up everything on the backside now that they have this beat. You can throw it right over the top. Gives a pump fake. Now they're both helping down. It's a quick kick out to the corner. It's an easy three. And that's the shots that are being generated because of the miscommunications and not knowing the coverages at this point in the game. Now we see another thing. Paint touches against the Heat have become problematic. When teams get 2 feet in the middle of the paint, for one, against the zone, that's the way to beat it. So once teams start doing that, it kind of changes what they can do in the zone defense. And then again, in man, it's pretty much the same thing. When it's not in an action, when it's pretty much catch and go, they can create a lot of nonsense against the Heat. So right here, quick catch and go. You see Kyle pinch all the way down. Tyler's already pinched down, or Jovic is pinched down, and then they give a kick out over here to the left side, and it's an easy three. Like that's the stuff that's being generated because they're just over helping and pinching down. Once again, you're going to see right here, Tyler gets beat off the dribble a little bit. Bam has to help. The easy dish to Ivy cutting through the lane. It's quick up and under. You're just seeing them not be able to contain the ball at the point of attack. They're just blitzing right by. And then once you have that advantage inside the paint right there, there's only so much a guy like Bam can do, or so much these certain guys can do that are smaller, because you just have to be on a string constantly rotating, which is what they did last year. They were just on a string rotationally. Now we see another possession right here. Ends up blitzing by Haywood Highsmith. Max is in position. It ends up being an and one right here. It almost looked like Max almost got the charge right here. But the point reason I wanted to point this out as I go back to this play, you're going to pause, and I'm going to pause here in a second. I'm going to show after he beats, yes, he gets put in position. But look at the bottom screen, bottom of the screen with Sadiq Bey in the corner. That was an easy feed. So it's either he can take the floater and he gets the end one, or it's an easy feed to the corner right here for an easy three. Maybe Bam can turn around and contest it a little, like barely, but they're just generating decent looks. Like a team like the Pistons should not be generating these type of looks against this Heat defense, no matter what the coverage they're in. So now another possession of exactly what I'm talking about, of blitzing inside. You're going to see right here as I go back to this play. Quick feed, quick drive, gets the paint touch, kick over here. Same shot. It's pretty much the same play over and over. It's just teams catch and go, not running a ton of actions to put like 2 guys to be able to figure it out. It's just catch, go, get in the paint, and make a decision from there. And that's kind of how they hurt them when they were just in the normal man-to-man. Now we go back to the zone, something else we saw a ton of last night. But there's different variations of the issues that we're seeing. Right here, he's just breaking him down. Kyle right here, you're going to see just kind of not splitting the difference as I go back. Kyle's kind of glued to Jaden Ivey, almost looks like he's in man. Bam has to play low. Isaiah Stewart just gets an open three out of it, which they were fine with last night. Like they were giving up that shot a ton. A couple of times he hit it, but it's more of just the layout of the defense. Another possession right here where Miami's zone defense, they switch at the top of the 2-3 zone, where if there's a screen, they're going to basically switch spots. So right here, Max cuts him off. But something like, how do you recover from this? You're going to see the Pistons. So Max is now on the left side of the top of the 2-3 zone. Caleb shifts to the right. But you're going to see the Pistons run something where they have somebody rise up to that right wing. So right here, Max cuts it off. Max is also supposed to be in position to cover up that right wing. He hits a three right here. Now we go back to this possession later in this game. Now we're in the fourth quarter. And this is where I'm just basically going to finish it up and say how they just kind of diced Miami up defensively, where they ran a possession a ton of times. I'm just going to show 2 of them where they were just getting Bogdanovich easy looks and open looks, and they basically just ran the same exact action. So right here, it's almost like a variation of Spain pick and roll, where it's like pick and roll, and then you screen the screener. Bogdanovich just slips it every time. He gets a three out of it. He just jabs. It's not an easy look, I wouldn't say, because Haywood Highsmith's contesting, but Bogdanovich was absolutely not missing at this game. So they run that. We go fast forward a couple minutes later, same exact possession. They slip it. They're still not ready for it. They're kind of scrambling. Another three. Like that kind of sums up the Heat's defense in general. It's a lot of scrambling. We could sit here and pick out the X's and O's of the zone numbers or the man numbers, but there's just a lot more issues here in terms of personnel, containing the ball one-on-one. It's just not one issue at the moment. I think that's what makes this team or this team's defense specifically problematic at the moment.